কোনো সমস্যা নাই, একটা তো আসছি, দেখা যাক। Whether the concept of surgical treatment one is not as is our pathology, so is our medicine. As is our pathology, so is our medicine. Renowned Canadian medical William Osler. Whether the concept of surgical treatment, whether the concept of surgical treatment, without the concept of surgical treatment, without the concept of surgical treatment. what to say. Conception pathology is a basic medical science that studies the etiology, pathogenesis, pathological changes, clinico-pathological connections and outcomes of disease. Pathology for aspects of disease etiology, cause of disease, pathogenesis, mechanisms of development of disease, pathogenesis, mechanisms of development of disease. What is etiology, cause of disease, what is mechanism? What is pathogenesis, mechanisms of development of disease, mechanisms of development of disease. Morphology, the structural alteration included in cells and tissues, functional consequences of the morphologic changes as observed clinically, clinico-pathological correlation, clinico-pathological correlation. Think about what kind of factors can lead to occurrence of disease, what kind of factors can lead to occurrence of disease, what kind of factors can lead to occurrence of disease, what kind of factors can lead to occurrence of disease, what kind of factors can lead to occurrence of disease. As a cause of disease, pathology, mechanisms and development of disease, morphology, the structural alteration included in the cells and tissues, the structural alteration included in cells and tissues. Oh, কয়লাও কও কি হয়েছে কও না আমি তো কিছু কমু না কিছু কইও না ভিডিও লাইভের মধ্যে আছে এখনকার কি দরকার আছে ওটা কও আকাম কিছু কইও না কই লাইভের মধ্যে আছে লাইভ ভিডিওর মধ্যে আছে আকাশের কিছু কইও না ইউটিউবে কি করুম কিছু তো একটা করতে হইব আজরে ফরতাছি ফরতে থাই লাইভের কাম লাইভ থাকুক কথা কইতেছি লাইভের মানুষ কথা শুনলে শুনবো না শুনলে নাই আমার কি হাঁস খাইতে মনে চাইতেছে না মুরগি খাইতে মনে চাইতেছে না মুরগি তো আছে তোমার কাছে কতটি নামছো ডাল রান্না করো নুডলস খাও আলুর ভর্তা বানাও আচ্ছা ফির আলুর ভর্তা বানাও তো আর কি আছে কিছু তো না এডি তো খাবার আছে তাহলে পেঁয়াজ দিয়ে খালি মাংস আজকে বুনা করো খালি বুনা আগে মাংসটা বাইর যায় আর পরে ওটা দিয়ে বুনা করবা খালি আজকা অন্য কিচ্ছু না এনে দেবো জনগণ একটা হয় না আইসিল একটা আইসার there is no people here I don't know why YouTube recommend me to someone and I'm gonna keep তোমারও কি চ্যানেল আছে ইউটিউবে আছে আচ্ছা পাঠাইও লিঙ্ক সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দেবো না etiology, the cause of disease, pathology, the mechanisms of development of disease, morphology, the structural alteration of induced cells and tissues, the functional consequences of morphological changes as observed clinical pathological correlation. Thank you. oxygen deprivation, okay. Hypoxia, ischemia, and nutritional imbalances, oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, ischemia, oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, and ischemia, cause of injury and disease, oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, and ischemia, nutritional imbalances, physical agents, clinical agents, drugs, infections. Oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, ischemia, nutritional imbalances, cause of cell injury and disease. There are like many same causes. Oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, and ischemia, nutritional imbalances, physical agents, chemical agents, and drugs, infectious agents, immunologic reaction, genetic derangement, immunologic reaction, infectious agents, chemical agents, drugs, physical agents, nutritional imbalances, oxygen deprivation. How? Ayashira. কি কয় কি রান্না করবা তুমি? ও আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, সমস্যা নাই। মাংস আয়না রাখছিলাম ফ্রিজে, ওই যে 2-3 সপ্তাহ আগে। কেরে জানি আর এম বিশ্বাস হয়ে যাবো গা। খালি পেঁয়াজ দিয়া মশলা দিয়া বুনা করো যেটা করতে আল্লাহ ইয়ে রে 11:51 বাজে গেছে, আমার আবার যাইতে হইব। Hypoxia, ischemia, loss of blood supply, inadequate oxygenation, cardiorespiratory failure, decrease of oxygen carrying capacity of the blood, anemia and carbon dioxide present. Mechanism of hypoxia is loss of oxidative phosphorylation and ATP generation of the mitochondria. Mechanisms of hypoxic mechanisms of hypoxic injury, loss of oxidative phosphorylation and ATP generation by mitochondria. Aerobic glycolysis by decreased ATP with increased AMP, depleted glycogen reduce intracellular pH. So by decreased ATP with increase in nuclear counter, physical agent, trauma, cold radiation, UV light from radiation from UV light, physical agents, trauma, heat, cold radiations, UV, electric shock, UV lights, ultraviolet lights that cause radiation. Chemical agents and drugs, endogenous products, urea, exogenous agents like therapeutic drugs, hormones, and non-therapeutic agents, alcohol, therapeutic drugs, and non-therapeutic mechanisms of chemical injury directly. Mercury chloride binds to SH groups of cell membrane proteins, causing increased permeability and inhibition of ATPase-dependent transport. Directly and indirectly, mechanisms of chemical injury. Mercury chloride binds to SH groups of cell membrane proteins, causing increased permeability and inhibition of ATPase-dependent transport. Indirectly, by conversion to a reactive toxin metabolism. Huntington causes cell injury either by direct covalent binding to membrane protein and lipid, or more commonly by the formation of free radical. Infectious agents, bacterium, viruses, rickets, coliform, SARS, and Candida albicans in the mountain, Plasmodium. Infectious agent, bacterium, viruses, rickets, fungi, parasites. Plasmodium. Think about what is pathogenesis. Pathogenesis, the core of the science of pathology. the core of the science of pathology, the study the pathogenesis of disease, the sequence of events in the response of cell or tissue to the etiologic agent from the initial stimulus to the ultimate expression of disease. Immunology, cytogenetic and molecular analysis of tissues and the cells are increasingly becoming guides to render diagnosis, to assess prognosis, and to suggest therapy. Morphology remains at the heart of the diagnostic pathology. Morphology remains at the heart of diagnostic pathology. Morphological changes characteristic of the disease, diagnostics of the etiological process, functional derangements, clinical significance, lobar pneumonia. From the X-ray, it can be seen that the lesion has turned white in aqueous substance and indicating the presence of inflammatory inflation. Under the microscope, it can be observed that the inflammatory exudate filling the epithelium is mainly composed of plain filaments, convoluted fibrin, and neutrophils. Research objectives of pathology, it provides the theoretical basis. It provides the theoretical objective. It provides the theoretical basis of elucidation, the nature of disease, understanding the grasping the law of occurrence and development of disease, diagnosis and treatment and prevention of disease. Pathology is also clinical medicine. Pathology is also clinical medicine. Content of pathology. General pathology is to study the common law of occurrence and development of various diseases. Disciplinary pathology to study the special law of occurrence and development of various diseases such as pneumonia, hepatitis, nephritis, and gastritis. Content. General pathology, cell injury, cell death and adaptation, tissue repair, hemodynamic disorders, inflammation, neoplasia. Systemic pathology, cardiovascular system, lungs, gastrointestinal tract, liver, kidney, female genital system, the endocrine system. Pathology of infectious diseases, the infectious system. Parasitosis. Classification of pathology. Anatomic pathology is concerned with the diagnosis of disease based on the gross microscopic and molecular examination of organs, tissues, and the whole body's autopsy. Clinical pathology is concerned with the diagnosis of disease based on the laboratory analysis of bodily fluids such as blood and urine using the tools of chemistry, microbiology, hematology, pathology and molecular pathology. The position of pathology in medicine afterwards. Bye bye, tata. That is for the short session of study. जी अल्लाह हाफिज़. फिर मिलेंगे, देखा होंगे. खुदा हाफिज़. खम्बगरे.